A gaping hole in a busy section of I-95 in Philadelphia is snarling traffic for hundreds of thousands of drivers. The vital roadway collapsed yesterday after a tanker truck caught fire underneath it. Tonight, crews have begun demolition of the destroyed section of I-95, but authorities say rebuilding the highway could take months. Monday night, and the big story on Action News is the fallout from the catastrophic collapse along one of the busiest corridors in the country. Here's where I-95 is closed to traffic. On the northbound side, the interstate is closed from Aramingo to Academy. On the southbound side, lanes are blocked at the Cotman exit, and it reopens at the State Road on-ramp. Action News reporter Annie McCormick, live now at the crash scene in Tacony with the latest on the investigation. Annie.
Yeah, and Rick, you can see and hear behind me that crews continue to work on this nonstop. It's expected to take about 4 to 5 days in regards to the demolition and the cleanup. But as for the reconstruction, it's expected to take months. Cleanup continued today on the charred portions of I-95 North over Cotman Avenue. Sunday morning around 6 a.m., a tanker truck carrying 8,500 gallons of 87-octane fuel crashed. Today, the remains of the tanker were taken to Task Force 1 for inspection.
The tractor and trailer was trying to navigate the curve, lost control of the vehicle, landed on its side, and ruptured the tank and ignited the fire.
State police have now recovered the driver's body from the wreckage, identified by family members as Nathaniel Moody, an experienced driver who worked for TK Transport. His cousin told 6ABC that state police told them a final identification would be made through dental records. He leaves behind his long-term girlfriend and his 7-year-old daughter.
I don't know what I'm going to say to her. She asked me, because do you see my daddy? Do you know where my daddy's at? Can you find my daddy? I'm going to say to her.
Governor Josh Shapiro toured the site Sunday and signed an emergency declaration this morning. State and federal funds are now available for repairs. 160,000 vehicles travel the affected stretch daily. Crews have to demolish the southbound lanes before reconstruction can begin.
The challenge for PennDOT and for the governor, and the governor was here yesterday, as you know, is to attack this problem in the most efficient way possible so that we can restore traffic movements on I-95.
And Rick, state transportation officials said earlier today that the structure was sound prior to the crash. For now, reporting live in Tacony, Annie McCormick, Channel 6, Action News. Rick.
All right, Annie, thank you. Well, the scene here in Philadelphia is similar to a devastating highway collapse in Atlanta, Georgia. Happened on I-85 back on March 30th, 2017, after a raging fire burned construction materials beneath the roadway. It took crews 43 days to repair and reopen the interstate. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson talked to an engineer tonight about how long it could take to reopen I-95 here in Philadelphia. Sharifa, what did you find out?
Eric, no exact answer, of course, but he says that it won't be easy. Now, engineers, they point to extreme heat as one of the main reasons behind this collapse, not any infrastructure problems. And this portion of I-95, fairly new, only 10 to 12 years old. And again, the engineer we spoke to earlier today says that this is a complex roadway, and to fix it will take time.
45-minute detour just to get to Wawa and just to get to work. I'm only 5 minutes away.
You don't realize how much that cripples the city. You really, really don't.
It's a question just about every driver impacted by the I-95 collapse and closure is asking. When will the road be back open to traffic? Officials say it could take months to repair both the northbound and southbound lanes that were damaged by the deadly tanker fire.
We design stuff to be reliable, and this is odd and unreliable. It's happened in the past. If you consider the bridge fires that happened and compared to maybe like a home fire or a building fire, there's way, way less of those.
Chopper 6 gives us a look of the giant hole where the road should be and said there's thousands of pounds of concrete below. The collapse drew immediate parallels to a similar fiery bridge collapse that happened in Atlanta, Georgia in 2017. It toppled a portion of the I-85 interstate, shutting the overpass down completely, but it was repaired in just 6 weeks. Given the size, Professor Bechtel expects this latest collapse to take much longer.
They probably have to remove everything that's there, look at what's left. Every bridge is essentially custom made, brought to the site and constructed. And I-95 is a big road that carries heavy traffic.
Crews have been working around the clock, inspecting and then demolishing the damaged stretch of road, while engineers are designing its replacement. To speed up the process, Governor Josh Shapiro is asking the feds for more money.
I think the clear message from us is that any federal resources that are necessary will be made available to ensure that this bridge gets reopened as quickly as possible.
And officials asking for patience and grace from drivers and also for commuters to get comfortable with these alternate routes. This is a big mess that will last for quite some time. We're live in Tacony. Sharifa Jackson, Channel 6 Action News. Rick?
All right, Sharifa, thank you. Well, state officials are assessing the roads in New Jersey as more drivers are expected. Many will likely cross a bridge into the Garden State to use one of the highways that run parallel to 95, like 295, the New Jersey Turnpike, or Route 130. Some New Jersey drivers say they noticed extra traffic this morning.
It took me about 45 minutes to about 50 minutes just to get out of Blackwood to get to Pennsauken on a different route.
Another new reality will come this weekend as many families will head down the shore for Father's Day, and some will have to find a new route. The collapse could have an impact on the nation's supply chain. About 160 pass over this section of I-95 every day, and about 9% of those are commercial trucks. Those vehicles now have to travel about 40 miles of detour with dozens of traffic lights, and all of that adds up to higher costs in fuel and big delays getting products where they need to go. And authorities are still looking into the potential environmental impact of the truck crash and fuel spill. Today, workers responded to fuel that had leaked into the Delaware River. The smell of fuel was also in the air as workers or crews were working to investigate. Booms are now in the water to prevent any potential spill from spreading. As new developments continue to come in, keep the 6 ABC app handy. There you can find the latest detours and the timeline for construction, as well as more of the investigation into exactly what happened.
Is this what you came for? I finally found it.
That was amazing. Rated PG.
How about it, 95?
Tonight, an explosion leaving a major Northeast highway destroyed.
Something is ignited. We're not sure what it is right now.
Little charcoal accident out of control here, you know?
The northbound lanes of Interstate 95 in Philadelphia buckling and then collapsing under flames that officials say erupted from a tanker truck fire underneath the overpass.
I plan to issue a disaster declaration, allowing the Commonwealth to immediately draw down federal funds and move quickly to repair and reconstruct this roadway.
The U.S. Coast Guard says the tanker was carrying nearly 9,000 gallons of gasoline. Manholes near the site also funneled flames, leading to secondary explosions. The cause of the explosion is still unknown.
Governor, based on what you've seen in your briefing, is there anything that indicates that this could have been intentionally set?
This is an ongoing investigation.
Jesus Christ. Right on 95 right now.
Drivers recording the scene on I-95 as they were driving on the highway. Mark Fassetti was on the southbound lanes moments before it collapsed, capturing this video.
How are you feeling now that you've had some time to decompress?
Yeah, a little shocked that I seen it, was there at that moment. It's crazy. And watching the video is where when I hit that dip, knowing what I know now, it's insane.
Officials say more than 500 tons of steel and concrete from the highway collapsed.
I came outside, I smelled smoke. It smelled like gasoline, actually.
As firefighters raced to put out the flames, concerns of compromised gas lines adding to the danger. Tonight, there have been no reported injuries, and I-95 remains closed in both directions. Authorities say delays and traffic for drivers could last weeks.
And George, tonight the cleanup process is underway?
Yeah, that's right, Kate. Heavy machinery is on site right now, carefully removing that tons of debris as there is concern a fire could reignite. Tonight, officials saying the rebuild of this portion of 95 could take months. Kate?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's